Hi, my name is Sapi Bachi. I own and run a full-service communications business called Full Circle. We have offices in Zimbabwe, in Zambia, in Malawi, and in South Africa. The business has 3 brands under it. TBW Zimbabwe, which is the oldest and one that I know a lot of people know. Magna Carta, which is a reputation management consultancy. And in Malawi and Zambia, we trade as 1G Digital Agency. We are basically, like I said, full service in the comm space. We're all about brands, we're all about storytelling, and we're really all about Africa and very passionate about Africa. We're part of the TBWA Global family, and we find that in Africa, really, there's such a push and a passion to be authentically African and to be proud of who we are as Africans and tell our own stories. I think being a single woman running your own business in Zim, and I think also just across the continent, is not easy. There has been over the last couple of years quite a huge push across the continent, even in Zimbabwe, about ensuring that you get women rising up to the C-suite. But my experience, and I've been running my business for over 10 years now, my experience is no matter the push, no matter the mantra from the government, etc., there's still so few women in the C-suite. And when you walk into a room and you're communicating with people in the C-suite, I'm talking about boards, I'm talking about your excos, you will find that there's still 90% male, which always surprises me. And of course, when you walk in, mostly, and I'm really generalizing here, but mostly you're viewed first as a woman before you're viewed as someone who actually has something of value to say. So I find that you have to work a lot harder. You have to push yourself. You have to be really driven because no one else is going to drive you, right? It's something that you have to do for yourself. And you have to really prove that you've got something worth saying, something of value, and that you can add value to a conversation, to a business conversation, that you can add value to someone's business value chain. And I think that's one of the struggles that you find that as women you have to contend with and you have to rise above. I was very fortunate to be raised in a home where I was told that your first husband, because there's always got to be a husband in our culture, right? But that your first husband must be your degree. So I was always pushed to excel academically and ensure that I'm able to stand on my own 2 feet. So it was always get your first degree, get your first degree. Then from your first, get your second degree, and so on and so forth. So I'm very grateful. I think looking back now, I'm very grateful that my parents pushed me in that space to become independent. And that's what I would tell any females, what I tell my nieces, that be your own person, be able to stand on your own 2 feet. It's great that when you grow up, you can meet somebody and you can start a family and a life with that person. But in that union, you are still an individual. So don't lose who you are and your identity. And part of that, not that it's part of your identity, but I think it's very important to be financially independent so that you are able to make choices for yourself. You're able to do things for yourself without having to ask somebody. That's something that I enjoy about the freedom of being able to make decisions on my own, financial decisions on my own. And it's what I tell younger people, it's what I tell younger women. There is such a freedom and such a freedom to just be who you are without having to always ask somebody. And I'm an active Christian, and one of the things that I'm grateful for that we are taught as women within the church, my pastors tell us as women within the church, all the time, is that we must be financially independent, that women, you're not a doormat. You must stand on your own 2 feet, have your own something, whether you want to call it a hustle, whether it's your 8 to 5 job, whether it's your own business, but have something of your own so that you are able to stand on your own 2 feet. And it's quite clear that if you are not financially independent, it doesn't matter how much wisdom comes out of your mouth, no one is going to listen to you, right? The wisdom of a poor person is never heard and is quickly forgotten. So it's important that you are really financially independent, that you are able to just own something that you can say is mine. And it's not about the quantum, so it's not about the size. It's really about, hey, this is this piece is my piece. And then you grow, you start from where you are, and then you always grow it from there. So that's advice I always give to young women in my space, to family members in my space, that just own something that is yours. If it's your 8 to 5, make sure that you're putting savings aside, again, so that you're not beholden to anyone. And I think any man who's worth his salt wants a woman who is able to stand on her own 2 feet.